hakuna ama kupinda Yesu, hakuna neimwe, hakuna umwe kurapa bese, hakuna neumwe anozivane namo Yesu, anotungamira tese, hakuna umwe kupinda Yesu, hakuna neumwe, hakuna umwe mukuru zeba, hakuna neumwe asi anozita muduku, hakuna neumwe anozivane namo Yesu, anotungamira tese, hakuna umwe kupinda Yesu, hakuna neumwe, hakuna nguva asipo iye, hakuna neimwe kana usiku rudoluripo, hakuna neimwe anozivane namo Yesu, anotungamira tese, hakuna umwe kupinda Yesu, hakuna neumwe, hakuna umwe akamborambwa, hakuna neumwe kana munyangazi amurambiko, hakuna neumwe anozivane namo Yesu, anotungamira tese, hakuna umwe kupinda Yesu, hakuna neumwe, hakuna chipo chikuru zeba, hakuna nechimwe angati nyimi mushakudenga, hakuna neumwe anozivane namo Yesu, anotungamira tese, hakuna umwe kupinda Yesu, hakuna neumwe anozivane namo Yesu, anotungamira tese, hakuna umwe kupinda Yesu, hakuna neumwe, 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 hakuna umwe kupinda Yesu, hakuna neumwe.
Tereko fugane kunaka enyika iyo ndicho shika kowira na tsitsi ndichamira nabu honesi ndichawa nenyere tiere ndichawa nenyere tiere chiremba mumane ruzuwa rowira nomukanda pone swatowe kumusha ndichawa nenyere tiere ndichafara kuona usu wa Jesu ndomuparo kudzo narini shichandifadzamu mushowe ndarama kutindi kawana nyerezi ndichawa nenyerezi ere chiremba mumane ruzuba rowira domukanda pone swatowe kumusha ndichawa nenyerezi ere ndichawa nenyerezi ere chiremba mumane ruzuba rowira domukanda pone swatowe kumusha ndichawa nenyerezi ere ndichawa nenyerezi ere chiremba mumane ruzuba rowira ndomukanda pone swatowe kumusha ndichawa nenyerezi ere ndichawa nenyerezi ere ndichawa nenyerezi ere.
Welcome viewers, young people and those who are young at heart. We are at season 1, episode 5 on the reality table. And yes, we still have that hot potato that we left last Sabbath as we continue to discuss. And the panel has not changed, but in case you are joining us for the first time, let me ask Pastor Daryl Katusha, please introduce yourself.
I am Pastor Daryl Katusha. I am Gwatiringa's friend.
Well, at least I'm glad that he said you got what he was trying to say. Ben Aaron?
Well, the name is Ben Aaron. I'm not his friend.
Of course, how can you be my friend when I'm also trying to help make sure you get married pretty soon? So I'm his go-between. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Okay, Brother Cash?
Hello viewers, my name is Odias Kashesha. I am Ben's friend.
Okay.
I like it.
It seems everyone has a friend here, but I'm wondering, do you have a friend? Maybe introduce us and tell us who your friend is.
Hi, I'm Valerie. I'm everyone's friend.
Okay, I like that. You're quick. Yes, Sammy?
Hi, I'm Sammy. I'm good at making friends.
Okay. My name is Pastor Ivan.
You cannot say you're not my friend. It's
Okay, for the sake of
the recording. Yes.
the recording,
Yes.
Pastor Daryl is my best friend. I can say that.
Wow.
All right. Yes, my elder.
My name is Mandiko Zastole or Baba Mutsa, soon to become Sekuruva somebody.
Come on, come now. Well, that's the interesting part about reality table. Well, as we promised, we are going to continue with the topic of courtship and marriage. But our topic today, well, I think it's quite exciting. I hope the content is exciting as well. The topic is You Can't See Me, the Art of Entanglement. I see your smile. Maybe you've got something you want to say. Okay, let me start with Sammy. What do you see from this topic? You can't see me, the art of entanglement.
Okay, so I have a situation. Okay, don't judge. We meet someone at camp, right? Okay, I met someone at camp. Okay.
I really like that one. The statement is coming closer. Closer.
Okay,
You're
I
just
met
asking for a friend, I guess.
Yeah, I'm asking for a friend.
Okay,
So
okay.
that it doesn't sound weird, I'll have to put myself in the picture.
All right.
Okay.
For recording purposes. So I met someone, right, at camp. And then Jao, you just instantly like people at camp, right? That's why, don't dwell on that. Don't dwell on that. The important part is coming. So the person wasn't going to colleges yet. But when they did, communication lines changed. And I had to understand that being in the sciences department, or rather being an engineer, he was going to get busier. And then I decided to pull a surprise. You know how you just want to surprise someone at their church, at the college church.
Okay.
And I'm getting there, everybody was just giving me the eye, like, and I'm there, everyone giving me the eye. I can't walk out because obviously I have to finish the service. But it got so uncomfortable. Then I had to understand what's going on. Only to realize after the service that I was the side chick who was present, who was crashing his date with his girlfriend.
Entanglements.
And these are Adventist guys. You understand, right? So when you're being disappointed by the best like that, you get to ask a question, why can't Christian Adventist guys be faithful?
Well, maybe the question is it just the guys or it's the same with the
Okay.
girls?
Can I just help the
Sure,
idea?
sure, Pastor.
I find it very hard to put that description before the... it's like saying, I have a problem with Christian drunkards. Okay.
You can't be a drunkard and a Christian. You
I
can't put
don't
them
know,
in the same.
I would never say that. I'm just saying it's like saying they are Christian players. In fact, the way people, because you are Adventist, not all of us at the table may be Adventist, but I'm saying because you are Adventist, you have been heartbroken where you come from. But what if you're Pentecostal? What if you're Catholic? What if you didn't go to church? You think atheists don't break hearts? Yeah, they use what you use what you have. You are broken by where you are. So there's no way Jonah can be in a ship, and there are people praying to their God. When things get tight, they ask him, "Why are you praying? And who are you?" Now you get stuck to say who you are because you're running away from a God, but you're calling upon gods now. In the club, when you are dancing away and you are drinking away, you don't stop being a Pentecostal, a Catholic, or an Adventist. You are a drinking Adventist, a Christian drinking Adventist. There's something wrong with that whole Christian part. Where's the Christianity in it? So once you become a player or a playeress, can you still be called a Christian? Because what's confusing us from your statement, you, the main house, became the side chick, and yet you who had, to a normal relationship, that would be like, wow, Facebook pictures, she came to visit. But it was hashtag, what you doing here without announcing yourself? So you see there's an art, you see John Cena put it nicely, you can't see me. You can't see me, boss. You can't see me. When we do things in the night.
By the way, who's John Cena? Which Bible book do you find John Cena?
John 3 verse 7. So you find yourself as big as John Cena is. He's not literally saying you can't see me. It's like saying he's telling your mind you can't see the works. And by their works we should do what? We will know them. This is why we are. This is how we date. You can be with a girl 4 years, but I want to ask the question, after 4 years, how many years of those 4 years were you really with her? Honestly speaking, we can be married 10 years and what. How many of those years were really years where you were emotionally there, physically there, everything there, right? And this whole art of entanglement, we saw it from, you know where we saw it from, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Shane Will Smith had an issue with his wife. I don't know the whole story. He had an issue with his wife, but I think he took in this boy. But now when he took in this boy, the wife now had an item with this boy. Come on, you need to have a bro code. You need to have a bro code, man. I can even ask you now, would you date my ex when you're my friend?
No way, impossible.
But if my ex is good enough, you'll find guys saying, you guys broke up. It's not like you're going to marry. We have all these things. There's no bro code. We are still called friends because you haven't had the opportunity to chuff my... So one day, my wife is very beautiful. She's extremely beautiful. She's so beautiful that it's scary.
Okay?
Now what can I do? She has to go to town. What can I do? My friend, who was my friend, when I went to college, wanted to cook for lunch. And he says, I want to cook for you lunch. Why couldn't you cook lunch when I was there? So she calls me up and says, your friend wants to cook for me lunch. No, not buy you lunch, cook for you lunch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'm in case away from town. I can't do anything about it even if I wanted to. Because I'm in the bush studying theology, acts, and other things. This guy's wanting to cook lunch for my girlfriend. I want to ask you a question. Did I have a friend?
No.
So there are certain subliminal things that happen to us that we find ourselves a bit stuck. That's why in our previous episode we said, find the right person. Rather than to change people while you are in relationships, because you'll find that it's so nice not to be committed to something, but marriage is all about commitment.
Yeah.
And if marriage is love founded, and love is a principle, what are your principles? So you find yourself, you are stuck, everyone is looking at you. You don't have to be an astronaut when people are looking at you funny to say you are not supposed to be here. You can feel it, that I'm not supposed to be here. And then when you ask the guy, I won't even ask you to say what he told you. He must have created a situation where it's not what it looks like. What does it look like?
Yeah.
So
that's always the case.
we have player choristers. We have player preachers. We have player deacons. We have player just members. It's not about the church. It's about the person. If they've learned the art of not committing, Ben, you learn the art. If things get hard, you dump a girl. In marriage, when things get hard, what are you going to do? You're going to find a crack. So this entanglement comes in many forms. I want to really throw these things out. If I'm wrong, maybe I'm no longer young anymore. There's this thing here called sliding into DMs.
Yeah.
Sliding into DMs, I don't know, Elder, if you know what sliding into DMs is. Let me just upgrade your software. You talked about drives. We need to upgrade the software.
Okay.
Sliding into DMs is where someone goes into your inbox and messages you without your consent. Gets your number from somewhere and just slides into you. That's what they call it. Sometimes they just put an emoji of water and a hello. That's sliding on water into your DMs. So when they slide into your DMs, you have the choice to say, I don't know you. Where did you get my number? But you go to the profile picture, and it's not too bad. And you tolerate it for a season, as Eve did by the tree. And before you know it, the conversation you thought you had with the serpent was having a conversation on you.
Yeah.
Now you are eating the fruit. You become an 18-wheeler to your husband of sins, and you become the temptation. And now you are dating you, and then you make your guy that you are dating like he's mad. When he's asking you, say, but you said you don't know this guy, but why do you keep on talking to him? He's just a friend. What is a friend? Jesus is a friend. But what do you mean he's just a friend? How did you establish this friendship? On what basis?
So can I come in
Yeah.
here, Pastor? And I actually want to ask the young people before I come to the elder. You spoke about friend.
Yeah.
Now there's this thing called besties. In a way, well, it comes with a lot. You know, this art of entanglement comes with, can you be friends with your ex? But let me start with the besties. Let me come to you, Ben. What do you think about besties? Can you be besties with someone who is not your, now what would you say?
Was unidentified.
Yes,
to your person.
to your person, yes.
With a UFO.
With a UFO, yes.
All right. Yeah, the question sounds right. Maybe I can just highlight what we're talking about when we talk about besties, right? But before I do that, I just need to pause a statement on the last statement that was mentioned by Pastor D. It says you even respond to someone without even asking where he got the number or from where. There's this quote that has been circulating on WhatsApp. You know why most ladies are not married right now? It's because when someone said hi, you're like, where did you get my number from? So at the end of the day, they just okay. All right, now, so when we're talking about besties, right, I'm talking about me being in a good friendship with Valerie, right? That kind of friendship whereby I and Valerie can actually go out, have fun. Valerie can visit me for a movie. I can even cook for Valerie. Valerie, she can even cook for me. We spend much of our time together. We even go to church together, not my church where my personal person is, but the church, where there's Cash, where there's Semi, and the likes. So a bestie, what has been happening is that besties, they actually play a role that is even far similar to the part that is being played by my girlfriend or someone's boyfriend. When I need airtime, I can even call my bestie. When I feel lonely, I can even call my bestie. When I'm having problem with my personal person, I can even call my bestie. So a bestie acts as a console, right? And recently, Sean, one of my friends, Sean Kudzayamacheka, you know him. We moved together a lot on Get Show. Sean once said, he even circulated this thing on WhatsApp, one of the groups. He said he was moving with hashtag besties must fall, right? Why? Simply because, a bestie ends up being the person. My elder once said that, you spend more time with someone, right? You're always together, and the person who you spend more time with, it graduates, right? Because it starts as a friend, right? And then there's that entanglement, right? That happens, and when you're entangled, right? It's very unfortunate that you left cables here, right? We had cables here. I was going to show you entanglement, right? This way you take rope A, rope B, and then if you have seen people tying carrick bands, right? If you look at knot tying, there's that there's that knot that is called carrick band. That's an entanglement. The rope, it moves from one end to the other, and then it's like that. And then when there's an entanglement, right, it binds. Now when I'm with my bestie, right, it's someone who I'm bonded with. So the next thing, when I'm crying and I need a shoulder to lean on, right? And then the next thing, where it will lead, right? They always say it ends in tears. But who is it going to end in tears for? Not for the bestie. Because she's my bestie, so we're okay, right? So I can do anything with my bestie, but now with my person, it ends in what? It ends in tears. Because when I need a shoulder to lean on, I can lean on my bestie, right? When I'm leaning on my bestie, is she flapping her hands or, no, right? When I have a shoulder, then she's patting me, right? Or when she needs a shoulder, I'm also what? So we've ended up bestifying people. Right? And
You're not creating words of your own. Is that? Let me check my dictionary.
You need to ask Sean for that one.
Well, thank you so much.
Just a little thing, Ivan. I want to define the word entanglement. We don't have ropes, but I think maybe the definition can assist. It says to entangle, to twist together, to entwine into a confusing mess. What happens when relationships become entwined into a confusing mess? Emotional entanglement often leads to unrealistic expectations, misunderstanding, deep disappointments, and broken relationships. So the definition we are getting here, in its simple word, entanglement, means while you are having a shoulder to lean on your bestie, we don't know what has made you guys a mess. Your person never gets the privilege to lean on your shoulder.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In fact, your person never gets the privilege of buying you airtime because you always have.
Yes.
So what is your person there for?
Yes.
Your
Yes.
person in the bus is not the driver, is the conductor. They never sit on the seat. They always hang out at the window.
Sad.
But here you are saying, are you not in the car?
You are in the car.
Are you not in the car?
You
So
are.
you have the benefits of
You have the
being in the car.
benefits of being in the car. Are you not on four wheels?
You are.
But the bestie is even changing gears in being in front.
Exactly.
So what I'm trying to say to you is, this entanglement is an entanglement of emotion, and then love is emotion. Love, you need to be emotionally hooked on each other. You need to love each other so much that you can't be separated. Now, you are sharing an emotional experience with your best friend. Can I ask you to ask them, when does cheating start?
Well, you just said he asked me to ask you. When does cheating start? Okay, let me.
Okay,
Cash.
thank you, Pastor. I think the problem that we have in our relationships,
Are you going to answer the question as well?
maybe
When-
I'll answer,
okay,
maybe I'll answer it. The problem that we're having in relationships is to trust the bestie than the actual person. You find that the bestie knows almost everything that the actual person
Your
doesn't
favorite
know.
color?
My favorite
When you
color.
are sick,
Yes.
when you are sick, they know
Yes.
everything.
Even the password on my phone, maybe they've got the second fingerprint.
They own this
No.
WhatsApp status.
Yeah. Something like
Yeah,
that. So,
yeah.
so what actually happens is you share everything with your best friend. You share your weaknesses personally, then the weaknesses of the first person. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? So the bestie knows my weaknesses. Then she knows also the weaknesses of my person. Now the problem comes.
So she becomes
because,
a god, a small.
Yeah, because we are emotionally attached, we share everything. The bestie now is good at counteracting those.
The main person.
Yes, counteracting the main person. If the main person is weak at responding quickly to my texts, the bestie is good at responding as soon as.
Now you are talking real nyayas. Now you are coming home. You are eating it at home now.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, when you send a message on WhatsApp, it has a grey tick first, then the second grey tick and the blue one. So the bestie even replies when there is not the second grey tick.
Yes.
So I know several people, the besties, they've ended up being the first ones because they know the bestie knows your weaknesses. Then the weakness of the first person are the strengths of the besties. Then the bestie also tolerates the weaknesses that your first person cries foul to the bestie. So she tolerates that, and mainly, basically, you are.
Can I throw another entanglement to the entanglement?
Okay.
You know, we brought in the aspect of besties. That's something else. I don't know. You call it an ex. You know the one that was there. Can you be friends with your ex and you have your person and can still be chatting with? Hey man, Elder, you know I'm preparing a time bomb for you so that when you. But I want to know. Can you be friends? Okay, let's not talk about besties. I'm just saying, can you actually be friends? Can you be talking? Can you be checking on your ex when you have a person?
That's a very tough question. Mainly because I think it's not right for one to be friends with their ex. Maybe because you were once emotionally involved with this individual, and there were so many other emotions that were involved that can only be reserved for that one person at a time. So now, if you're gonna be friends with that very person whose emotions you're once entangled with, I think it's gonna make it difficult for me as an individual to now maybe move on with someone else, because I may be just trying to figure out maybe what could I have done better in that old relationship, or what could I have done differently, or I don't know, whatever it is. But basically, I don't think it's a very good idea for one to be friends with their ex. It will end in tears.
It will end in tears. Okay.
Can I
Can I come to the elder here?
I'm burning to
Maybe before you give to the elder.
Yeah,
Before you
once
give
the
to
elder speaks, well,
Okay, I think let's. Once the elder speaks, then you're finished.
yeah.
Okay.
We want to put our nyaya.
You know what I was thinking? He says I couldn't wait for the service to finish, but he was already finished. Okay, so elder, okay, let me just hold it. Let me hold the horses. Maybe you untie the entanglement.
Yes.
After we have entangled.
Probably
So
before you
just
go to him.
30 seconds.
You want-
30 seconds. 30 seconds. Then I'll come to the elder before we take a break.
When you're talking about relationships, right? If it comes to us, we are boys, are girls, right? Then there's that element of equal yoking. So what does this mean? If I'm dating someone within the church. I'm from Masasa Park, for example. I'm from Windsor Park. He's from Domburamar, border, wherever we're coming from, right? So whatever girl that I'm going to date, she's within the what? Within the church, right? And we are within the same region 1. And you know our region is not that big. Definitely when we go to the camps, we are always together. So there's no point in me trying to create enmity with my ex as a person. Why? Because one or the other are going to meet in church, right? So talking is not a problem, but now we'll be looking at the depth of the what? Of the talking. Like what Val said, that there's that emotional distress that person left, and it's only that person who can fill that gap that you should have what? Would have left. But because we are within the same church, right? Ben is a master guide. If I'm invited to a church, I'll come, I'll preach, I'll see my ex there, right? But like what he said, I like when he said that he told his daughter, Muza, that Muza, this first guy that you're having is not going to be one that what? That will marry. And probably maybe the second one is also going to be the one that she would marry. So let's say, for example, Muta has got 3 exes. it's one. You know it's one. Let's say that Luther has got 3 exes, right? And then she goes to preach to a church. Then there is an ex there, right? Is it a crime? No, it's not a crime. Is she not going to say hi? She will say hi because she's preaching in church. She goes to another church, then these are the ex, then she also say hi. So greeting or talking with one person, not what, no problem. But now having to save the numbers and then get to talk and then dig deeper, that would be a problem. But for me, talking is not a crime.
Okay, thank you. I think you've just summarized it. We are talking about, because you can't be friends and you can't talk. You can't be friends and you don't communicate.
Exactly.
So just saying hi, it's okay. But I won't use your words against you. It will all end in tears.
But you
30
see,
seconds.
Because here we're on reality table. What he just said, we all know, all of us here, is witchcraft. It's not even possible. In fact, it's like being friends with your ex is like being kidnapped. And then when they let go of you after 3 days, you turn around and you give them your number, say, guys, keep in touch. That's the same thing. How do you do it?
How do you say keep in touch?
Secondly, the one you are dating is writing an unseen exam.
Okay.
He is struggling to write a chemistry exam. He's never done it because your bestie is very good at chemistry. Everything he's doing is comparison. He's too late. Where do you know that he's too late from? How do you know what lateness looks like if your bestie is not on time? The third thing is, just to talk, which generation do we live in? Which one?
Can't happen.
If the generation where we're writing
That's
letters,
the
yes.
zero minus one. It
Yeah,
can't.
that it can't. It can't. Let me tell you something. Once you talk, the brother or the sister will say, I miss you. Or you'll be called babe. Or you'll be called honey. Or sweetheart. How many times do you use those words carelessly? They're supposed to be reserved for your person. How many times do you say, sweetie? To someone who's not even as sweet as the one. That's sweet and sour sweet. You can't call it sweet. Here we are saying, we find ourselves in a situation that, let's be real, mostly the women have these friends who we fail to digest to find out, I'm writing an exam here. This is not who I am. You want to force me to be a Gwatiringa. I'm not.
Yeah.
You were wishing that I had lots of beards. I will never. But our genes don't it. Come on. You want someone who can cut his hair a certain way, but you've got alderman dukuns. And sometimes the hair is going to disappear. You want someone who's big like him, but you married me. Why am I writing this exam? Only to find out when you see the bestie. Then you know that was a conglomerate of I was being forced to become.
Yeah.
Emotional entanglement is like when your heart beats for a person who's not your person. Be careful of the relationship you are in. You can't have all that and not date that person.
Yeah.
Two things can happen. The one you are with will be heartbroken in tears. Then the one you are with now as a bestie may want to upgrade the software and become the one. It's painful. I've seen it where you marry the one who was never there for you. And then this one who's always been there for you, he was hoping to be the one.
I remember one guy saying the paradox of life is the one that you love does not love you. And then the one that you don't love is the one that loves you. Come on, that's such an entanglement. You know, you were talking about, even if you carry the rugby ball, you will fall by it, man.
Why would I even do that to myself?
So maybe let's come in and bring a bit of experience to this discussion.
Well, yeah, I think it's good that we're being real, and I don't have all the answers.
Sure.
But what I can tell you is it's not sinful to be besties with the opposite sex, by the way. I think we have different backgrounds that form different relationships for different reasons, depending on your upbringing. Some people make better friends with males than they do with females because of the psychological makeup of their upbringing. So besties, the crime is not being a bestie. But I think what happens is when a relationship is new, I had a similar arrangement in my younger days where my best friend was a girl. I helped her to choose her husband. She helped me to choose my wife. But what I can tell you what is necessary is that if a bestie has really got your interest at heart, after the one that you have chosen comes through, they must step back.
Yes.
They must, because I like to talk about farming because the Bible teaches us a lot of life from farming. A plant that is still young and that is growing needs space. And that's why we go kumusha and we sakura. We remove the weeds. Why? So that it can absorb
nutrients on its own without being having competition from other things that are absorbing. So I will agree 100% that, look, it's not possible for you to then have a very healthy relationship with this newcomer whom you have chosen when your bestie is sticking around. They have to step aside so that you can fully absorb this person, fully appreciate them. I've said to young people before, if you get into a problem where you've got comparison, because imagine when you're eating a sweet and then you drink mazoe. You will not appreciate the mazoe because you were already eating the sweet. And not because mazoe is not tasty,
Come on now.
but because you still have the sweetness of the sweet in you.
Okay.
But if you go a long time without the sweet, and then you drink the mazoe, you will realize mazoe is actually sweet by itself. So the bestie, if they have your best interest at heart, especially, they must step aside. Now, in terms of exes, I mean, look, I was talking to somebody recently who said, look, I was friends with my girlfriend, with my boyfriend before we started dating. But now we've broken up, and I used to buy him presents. Can I still buy him a present? And I said, look, you can't. Why? Because you've dated emotionally, you have been entangled, you've been messed up. So if you buy him a present, you're saying, I want you back. Because as much as it's not the same as when you were still friends before the relationship. So ideally, exes, you're looking for trouble if you're going back because the flame is easier. Have you ever tried to put out a fire? There'll always be some other little heats and things that may not be flames, but that are somewhere that you don't know exist. But if you blow at it long enough,
The fire start up.
the fire will start up. So be careful of those things because it's very easy to start a fire from a flame or a fireplace that has been put out that you think has been quenched. So ideally, I think, look, those are dangerous things. Bringing third parties, and especially to a very young and starting off relationship, it won't make it. It'll start off on a wrong note.
Wow, thank you. What do we do?
Just quickly.
Okay.
Not only just a young one,
Yeah.
but there are old ones that are plateaued with you,
Oh, yeah.
where you've married for 25 years and what. And you are a young girl and you can see that it's an old man.
Right.
Don't be too available for an old man when you have no experience to give to a relationship.
Yeah.
How do you become friends with an old man? There are some things that are clear cut. You know what I'm trying to say nicely? I'm trying to say, what do you talk about that he doesn't already know, that he has not already experienced? So there are some times where we play the fool and we say, we are just friends, and then you look at the friend and this is the ancient of days. this is one that will come in the future. His best friend is an ancestor that is worshipped now. So there's no way you didn't even watch the same cartoons.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what are you talking about? So I'm saying that you need some emotional intelligence as well. Yes, the young ones, but even the old ones, allow them not to be fragmented by your presence. Let him find somewhere else to tell you, my wife doesn't cook. My wife is not good like this. Don't be the one to receive that. If you are in an unfortunate, awkward situation, say, I've heard you. Can I refer you to someone who can?
No.
Because when you now take favors from him, you and the people that stand in avenues are the same.
Yeah.
You are just a high-profile money taker with no you're like a private school avenue standard. You know what I mean? Because there's no way we can keep quiet and say only the old ones. I'm telling you from my young experience in the ministry, even the old ones are now finding friends with young people. There's nothing you can tell Mandikuza that doesn't know. And Mandikuza already knows. He can't tell you about life because you don't know nothing about life. Your friendship is based on a give and take. Mostly the guy will take. Let me quickly, there's no man who will give for free and not cash in kind, because you don't have cash generally. You're going to pay in kind. And by kind, you know what I'm talking about. This is when you wake up in the morning and you say, it just happened. Biologically, releasing gas from the behind of yourself is embarrassing. But we hold it. Here, we could release gas. It's natural, but we could release gas, but you can't. You hold it with all your might. The embarrassment is impossible. What about causing yourself to be a side chick in a relationship, in a marriage, that's been there with big children? How come that is not more embarrassing than letting go of gas? So we need to put it out there to say, yes, give space to the small relationship, but also give space to plateauing relationships. They're taking a different turn. You don't need to be an extra force that the wife has to deal with. One day, he's going to make a mistake, and you know when men have a side chick, they get overexcited.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they say, did you see, Valerie? You know Valerie today can sing. Today she said, everything with Valerie. She will not feel betrayed by Valerie. She will feel God has betrayed her by giving her a marriage with a mercenary. Instead of being a missionary, he's a mercenary.
I was waiting for the part where you say, this is witchcraft.
It is witchcraft. All right.
Well, you heard it for yourself. Viewers, thank you for joining us for this first segment. We are going to come and conclude on this entanglement. I think you bring your ropes when you come back so that we see how much we will get into. So stay tuned. We'll be back in just a jiffy.
Jesu wangu mudiwa tino uya kunemi mananda andibata chiripo cha mpupuri tiwike mupone sida dakara panyarara uno ditungamira kumbusha we kunenga.
Welcome back. Well, this has just been an exciting topic to discuss. Brother Cash, we're still in the entanglement. What do you have to throw in the table?
Well, thank you very much. I think personally, the issue of entanglement is witchcraft. And it's brought in by Satan when things start to bloom. Because when you are singing, the bestie doesn't play as much role as you play when you are now with someone else. You know, let me express this in Shona. When the relationship starts to bloom, by then Satan anotuma mabesti zvekuti anoforcwa kupinda relationship sema independent candidates. They opt to be an independent, to be a third party. Yeah, something like that. So I just want to say, you know, when you are in a relationship that is very good and it's glowing, you need to keep it that way. You don't need to bring an independent candidate. The independent candidate has to find a party that is supposed to be affiliated in and form an alliance. So I think we as young people, we need to be very careful.
You know, I could help myself by just laughing. I know you're actually laughing at home, but I mean, where did you get this example? Okay? Valerie, let's throw in something into this entanglement business.
I remember we had a discussion once. I went to this camp with a couple of other Silver Club members, and we had this discussion where it was just us girls sitting at that time, and we had this discussion where they were talking about what are called bafoods, shepherds, in the church, where someone, you like someone, and then you're vibing together. Me as an individual, I think we're apparently on the same level, but then at some point we're not on the same level. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah.
So the example that one girl gave was you're you've gone to Pick and Pay, and there's one toothpaste left, or and there's two of you. There's one person who really needs that toothpaste, but then you, who doesn't need that toothpaste, has taken it and put it in the cart, and you're going around the store, still shopping around, but you still have that toothpaste that someone else really needed. And then when you get to the checkout point now, you're just going to then say, but I mean, I still have another tube at home. Let me just leave this one behind. And then you leave it at the counter. So that is a situation that I would say most girls in the church are going through, where guys are just leaving the toothpaste at the counter.
Okay.
And there's been someone else who really wanted the toothpaste. But then that one guy who wasn't exactly sure they wanted the toothpaste, has taken it, but has left it at the checkout. So I think this one just goes out to the guys. Please, know
Don't buy
that you want your toothpaste.
Just don't buy
Don't
toothpaste.
just go and take that toothpaste and leave it at the counter. Be sure that you want the toothpaste and buy it, but don't take it and then leave it at the counter.
I take it you're also speaking for a friend.
Yes, I'm speaking for a friend.
It's okay. You've been quiet for some time, Sammy.
Yeah, so what I think I want to say to the youths out there is, the first thing is, we are so quick to give up in relationships because we have a choice, or so we think. We're so quick to say, I'm dating audience right now. If it gives me a problem, I'm going to quit. I'm 25, I can do it.
Dating Ben.
Oh yeah, I was.
No, they're going to entanglement.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is, I'm dating him, right? But I feel like if he does something wrong, I can leave him because I still have a choice. Like, I'm 25, I can still do it. But then I feel like those traits of character are not going to be easy to let go when you're married. Why don't we start by telling our girlfriends or our boyfriends what we tell our besties? Why don't we start by telling them, I hate this kind of behavior that you do, and let's stop empowering our besties. And the other thing, let's not give the devil a chance, please. Besties must fall. Just like that.
So I think at the end of this program, we must all say, hashtag
Besties must fall.
I like that. So Pastor Ticket, maybe your parting words as we are about to conclude.
This one is difficult for me because we're not saying don't have friends.
Yeah.
We're saying have emotional intelligence when you're speaking to your friends. You can have friends, but then don't speak like you're speaking to me. If I'm in a relationship with you, I need my space, I need my privilege. There's nothing as painful as being a guy knowing that I'm dating this girl, only to find out that this guy is getting the same privileges as I am. You know, the same text, the same everything. They'd rather call me by my name than call me a sweetie and sweetie and sweetie and I love you, miss you, everyone. Just call me the hell. There's no problem. So this whole entanglement also, don't forget, it causes people to have baggage. And it causes people to date rebounds. Right? So the guy that you date after you're hurt, if you don't recover, the guy you're dating is a rebound. Basketball, it bounces off the hoop and then you hit it back in. It's not that you love that person. They're your Panadol, they're your painkiller. Once you have recovered, that's why you can text your ex to say, I'm recovered, now can you hurt me again? So that's what happens sometimes. So there's nothing wrong to have a best friend, but now when you've moved on in a certain place in your life, they need to be humble enough to say, I'm so happy for you, but this is where I cut my line. I have a best friend and he's a guy, but when he got married, I hardly hear from the brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I understand. Because when I got married, he hardly heard from me. Because there was something new I was working on. You get it? Now we talk and we say, hey, how's it? Yeah. We talk, right? But he was my guy. Whenever we were doing anything, he was my guy. Different spaces, different things, all right? Then the last thing I want to say is to the girls, there's no need to buy milk when the cow is at home. In fact, let me say it nicely. There's no need to buy milk when the cow is at home. I come out, someone say, prophesy, Papa. You see,
Go deeper.
when the cow is at home, the milk is for free. If you give the brothers milk, when they are tired of having fresh milk, they will make masi, they'll make cheese, they'll make cottage cheese, they'll make what. Don't think they'll care about the cow. You can hear what I'm saying. And to the guys, I'm saying, if you get into the shop, and there's one bottle of water left, not Colgate, bottle of water left, please do us a favor. Don't open the bottle of water and close it. And then request another bottle of water that you're going to go pay out at the checkout point. What am I trying to say? I'm saying, who's going to drink that bottle of water that you've left half full?
No one.
Because when the seal is broken, we don't trust the contents. But when the seal is on the lid, even if it drops and falls into mud, or the guy who was carrying it has got corona, we know we can sanitize the bottle. But this one that is open, we don't know what to do. Don't let the young girls explain themselves to every guy that they meet, because you passed by and you took out the fruits of the Spirit. Please, try your best, no matter who you are dating, or wherever you get entangled. Don't give up the fruits of the Spirit. Only your husband should present you as a living sacrifice to the Most Holy. He must be the only one who enters the Most Holy place. And then if you've already given up the ghost in the Most Holy place, you can't change what you can't change. What you need to do is have a change of attitude. Just because you made a mistake and you slept with some guy and he took your virginity, that's done and dusted. What are you now? Be the best that you can be now. Be the best that you can be now. Virginity is virtue for both girls and for boys. And you know what, Pastor? I wish there was a situation where, isn't women get embarrassed after 9 months? You get a tummy and then we all laugh at you and we censure you, I wish there was a rule that said, for every girl that you slept with, your trousers become shorter on the day of your wedding. If you slept with 19, wherever 19 is, until the boys get married in a bum short. Yeah. Yeah. Because virginity is virtue for both girls and for boys.
Well, those are deep words. If you are listening from home, I surely hope that you will definitely take a moment to think. My good elder, it has been an honor and a pleasure to have you on this platform. We always bank on this experience, so we'll still give you the honor to just wrap it up, and after you're done, you can pray for us.
Thank you. I think this has been a wonderful program. I appreciate the contributions coming from my sons and daughters. 25 is nothing. That's when, in fact, I met my wife 27 years ago.
Oh, God.
So yeah, if you're not 27, you could be one of those.
Humble.
But anyway, but that's not to say experience means anything. I think one thing I would say as parting words is that there is this ignorance and this naivety that you find in youthfulness that I wish I could go out and extinguish, because young people, I get to a wedding and I see the vows that are being made and I see some of the promises people make to each other. And you're realizing that, we are naive and we don't know that, look, there is a devil factor in this world, and we need to really take the word of God as it comes. The Bible in Jeremiah 17:5 says, cursed is the man who trusts in man.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying to you young people, when you started, you were talking about a guy who's got a boyfriend, who's got a girlfriend, and then you go visit him. I want you to know that whoever you're dating is not an angel. Whether Christian or not. It sounded like an oxymoron to say Christian player. But it's not unusual, because we are Christian or no Christian, master guide or no master guide, elder, pastor or anything, we're all sinners. And so when people are telling you things, you must really understand that you're dealing with sinners. So don't take everything to heart and think this is my angel sent from God. God allowed sin to spread. So whatever you do, always be cautious. Because people are selfish. Even when you're talking about besties, even your best friend, as perfect as they may seem, they are selfish intrinsically. So ideally, let's just understand that only Christ is perfect. And everybody else, we must just realize that, look, you know what, I'm dealing with a sinner here. I'm going to love, I'm going to do all sorts, but I'm going to have a bigger heart, not expecting for every relationship to be perfect. But I wish you all the best. I wish you all the best, because the Lord is out there, and God chooses good partners for us. And God can make a marriage work. It can be an Abraham experience. You get to 100 and you're still married and you're still getting the blessings of the Lord. So ideally, I wish you all the best. And with that, I think we can bow our heads in prayer. Let's pray. Father in heaven, thank you for the program that has come, where we are talking real issues that are affecting real people. Christians we may be, but we're still experiencing the same sins that are found in the world. But we ask, Lord Father, that your covering angels may be upon your people. That, Lord, we may not be the same as those that are outside who do not have a Christ. Because Christ brings forgiveness. He also brings strength and power to overcome sin. So help us to work towards doing the right thing all the time, and not thinking that we are angels and exposing ourselves to situations which will end up destroying us. So thank you for all these young people, Lord. Those who have come to this program, especially, may they have great partners, may they have great marriages, may they have great futures. Those who are listening and are desiring for a great future, Father, may you grant it to them, because by faith, if we hold on to your promises, we will have exactly what you promised, because faith turns a promise into a gift. Thank you for Pastor Gwatiringa and his programs that he's doing for the young people. Bless his office in the EZC, and also take care of his marriage, because as he's talking about these things, he's also being exposed to many things. As I am talking, Lord, I'm also vulnerable to many things. Even Pastor D, as he's also talking, may you also bless him and his family. Thank you, Lord, for this opportunity. Bless us now, for we've prayed in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much for joining us today. We still have another program awaiting you next Sabbath. I think we made a promise that at the end of this, we are going to say hashtag besties must fall. Are we in agreement? Yeah?
Yes.
All right. So let's go in 3, 2, 1.
Hashtag besties must fall.
God bless you. Let's meet next Sabbath.
Jesu wangu mudiwa Tino uya kunemi Mananda andibata Chiripo champupuri Tiwike mupone sida Dakara Kabanyarara Uno ditungamira Kumbushawe kunenga Timwichiti wiriro Chena zechimwe musandisiendeka tenzi mbundi batsire dosimbira kunemwi rubatsiro zherwangu undifukite ininge mapapiro enyu Dimbi Kristu ndinoda zvese zvomunondipa simudza waputika rapandiwa norara zita renyu royera ini ndega ndashata ndazara ngezvitema mwazara ndindemutsa kunemwi wekuchenesa ini rega uzondirapa moyo wangu mukati zvetsimere upenyu pinda mumoyo wangu rirambe richiwerera kuzondipa upenyu zvetsimere upenyu pinda mumoyo wangu rirambe richiwerera kuzondipa upenyu rirambe richiwerera kuzondipa upenyu rirambe richiwerera kuzondipa upenyu rirambe richiwerera kuzondipa upenyu. Domutewera kweseko ndanziza kumusimbira ndotondera kundifira ipo pamchinjiko weKalvari ishe Jesu wanditungamira imbo murwendo rwese nguva dzese arishamwari yeidi ndinotondera Kalvari ndofarira temo wake ndoda anditungamire rudo rwake rwakanaka iro rwaereswa paKalvari ishe Jesu wanditungamira imo murwendo rwese nguva dzese arishamwari yeidi ndinotondera Kalvari ndinofamba ndisingatyi ndofara naKristu pedyo ndosimbira ndaona iyo shamwari yepaKalvari Jesu adi ishe jabira imom rendorese kuvatese iye arishamari iye idi tinototera Jesu adi ishe jabira imom rendorese kuvatese iye Arishamari yeidi tinotondera Calvary tinotondera Calvary tinotondera Calvary tinotondera Calvary na wanashamari ya kandida nisingaziwi akandifua nerudo akanisunga kwari moyo wangu wasungwa nefundo rora kasimba Jesu ndiri wako ini uri wangu narini na wanashamari yo shamari yakandifira andi upenyu bachete asi akajipira jendi nazo andi zangundaka muchengetera moyo simba upenyu zesende zake narini dawana shamari akapiwa masimba ese kundi chengeta munzira ino enda kudenga miri kupenya yokuti indisimbise gandirinde ndisewenze pambe rindozorora dawana shamari inemutsa idinerudo dimutungamiri kwaye ane zero nesimba kuna iye alondidandino wana masimba korufurunga kurie ndiri wenyu narini dawana shamari inemutsa idinerudo dimutungamiri kwaye ane zero nesimba kuna iye anondidandino wana masimba korufurunga kurire ndiri wenyu narini kuna iye anondidandino wana masimba korufurunga kurire ndiri wenyu narini korufurunga kurire ndiri wenyu narini